the new look Des Kelly Interiors.
Mostly dry overnight, but there'll be outbreaks of rain on Atlantic coasts. Rain and strong winds in the west tomorrow morning, mostly dry elsewhere with hazy sunshine, but a risk of rain by evening time. Highest temperatures 17 to 19 degrees in the west, but reaching highs of 26 degrees in central and eastern counties. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball.
Thanks to Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a dedicated call centre.
This is News Talk.
Hello, you're very welcome along to Wednesday's Off the Ball. It's Joe here. Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry, right at the wrong moment I realised I had to cough. I'm going to go and take two. We're not on the air, right? Take two, here we go. Oh, they're actually going for take two. Right, let's do it. Better do it quickly though. Definitely think the moment's gone here, Pete.
So anyway.
Wow, this has been awkward.
Pete, if we could, pretty soon here.
No, we are actually on the air now. It's the awkward.
We started the show.
I think maybe you should just continue.
The ball.
Thanks to Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a dedicated call centre.
This is News Talk.
Hello folks, welcome along to Wednesday evening's Off the Ball. It's Joe here. We've got a bumper show for you. Coming up, we're going to talk about the new National Sports Policy document with the Sunday Independent's John Green. We basically haven't had one for well over 10 years now, so it's pretty important, and we'll take you through the main points. Sean Ingle from The Guardian will join us talking about runners, swimwear, various types of sporting equipment, which frankly make you too good. They flirt with the lines of performance enhancing. So we'll talk to Sean Ingle about the latest in that whole sphere. 53106 is the text number. We're at Off the Ball on Twitter. Richie McCormick is here in the studio. Hello, Richie.
That was much better second time around, Joe. Well done.
And brace yourselves, everybody, because Nathan Murphy's here.
Good evening.
I mean, the listeners say that when me and you are on air, the chemistry is such that they want more, so we're giving it to them.
Well, it was weird. I was advised by the hierarchy and Off the Ball to come in on a Wednesday night and sit and admire the genius of Joe Malloy and maybe pick up a couple of tips for when I'm presenting tomorrow night. And to be honest, that was a shambles.
What have you learned so far?
Wow.
Stay calm in a crisis.
Don't eat your sandwich 8 seconds before going on air.
Honestly, my life is such that I'm eating one of those pre-made sandwich things.
Oof.
And you just know when you're doing that it's not good for you, it costs too much money, they don't taste especially nice, and you just should be doing better at life.
You failed there, basically.
You have.
Your day has reached a dead end.
You failed a little bit. So we're talking later with Sean Ingle about the latest batch of, there's some Nike runners now, which they say can improve your performance in the marathon by 4%. Which is quite something. And where do we draw the line here? There's often been issues around swimwear, which boost performances. I know you're a keen athlete, Nathan. What do you do to boost your performance by 4%? 4%. Where do you turn to for your 4% gain?
The shade is very real.
Wow.
What does it meant to mean?
Wow, that's incredible. So what do these shoes do?
I don't know exactly, but they boost your performance by 4%. I presume you tire less. I presume you get more of a bounce. Sean Ingle has all the science behind it. He's been writing about it in The Guardian. So
is the issue that not everybody can afford these, that all the top American runners will have these, all the British runners will have them, but unfortunately some countries that don't have the same options, that they're going to have the all 4% less fast runners?
Well, I think it's more the issue is about the integrity of the competition, of the records, and if certain athletes don't have them for, say, sponsorship reasons, then you are damaging the integrity of the competition.
I'm sure you're going to get into this with Sean Ingle, but technically, the laws around runners, are they pretty rigid as to what's allowed and what isn't?
That's a good question. So all that is on the way. Sean Ingle joined us after 8 o'clock. We might talk golf in the next hour. Just been kind of itching to talk golf. No one in the office cares enough to want to talk about it. There was a cursory 15-minute chat on the Monday.
Oh, really?
And I was saying,
I bet you they all switched off once.
I know I have.
Once Rory finished up. Nobody stayed around to watch Francesco emotional with the claret jug.
I definitely didn't get the impression that the Molinari victory had captured their imagination. Certainly Tiger Woods had grabbed them.
It didn't bloody capture yours. You were giving out about him on the Sunday.
Yeah, but I still watched it. But I feel like once Tiger Woods bowed out, that the vast majority in here said, right, I'm done. Yeah. So I want to get your thoughts on the whole thing.
Great, I'm looking forward to it. I too have been waiting.
It was a phenomenal tournament.
Who pulled out? Did you have to do that?
No one.
All right.
We should make some time to talk about golf. It was one of the best opens in
a year.
Yeah, I know. It's like that tournament has been unbelievable for
the last
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been the pick of the majors. Last year was Jordan Spieth in the parking lot getting a rules official to give him a free drop.
It's called a car park, Nathan.
Well, not an Open Championship week, Richie. And then he birdied the last 5 holes, was it, to beat Matt Kuchar?
It was unbelievable. Before that, Battle of the Suns.
Yes. Phil and Henrik.
Before that, it was the playoff at St Andrews with Jordan Spieth going for Ben
Career
Hogan,
Grand Slam.
Winning all 3
in a
Grand
row.
Slams. Yeah. And before that was Rory McIlroy at Hoy Lake.
Is this
And
going to
before,
affect?
and before that was Phil Mickelson.
Is this going to affect Jane Lawrence when they're released tomorrow? He's gone on about this.
Before that,
Oh, we're feeling positive.
Before that, it
I
was
wouldn't.
the Adam Scott collapse to allow Ernie to allow Ernie to win at Royal Liddum and St.
And the year
Anne's.
before that was Darren Clark. Where does it end?
The year before that was
Soon, hopefully.
Louis Westhuizen. That
Oh, that was
dull.
boring.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay.
the year before that was Tom Watson's collapse.
At Turnberry. Okay, so we're going back to
And then you had
2010.
Harrington twice, and then you had Tiger Woods. This is like going out for a drink with Dave McIntyre. I'm not even joking.
That's exactly what this is like.
I'm not even joking.
I'm glad you brought that experience to the listeners.
That is actually exactly that's the kind of thing Dave likes talking about.
I have told this story before, but not long before I joined News Talk, myself and Dave were over in Cardiff for a Republic of Ireland Wales friendly 0-0 terrible night.
Yeah.
We arrived into central Cardiff about 11 o'clock. There was one bar left open, so myself and Dave were in having a nice relaxing drink. Dave, do you want to see who can remember the most Masters winners? And literally we spent the next hour going through each major trying to see who could go further back.
Was it fun?
Well, the novelty wore off.
I feel it was fun charting the excellent opens back to 2010 when we could draw a line. But like that had its limits. I wouldn't go back as far as we could go.
You bloody well would if you could get away with it.
I know, but we're
Off weekly.
on a time limit this evening, so
Oh, are we?
are getting
You'd never
to
notice.
we're getting to John Green, and he's going to talk to us about. Well, it's your first story as well, Richard.
It is indeed.
The news round is brought to you this evening with Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products, and so. We haven't had one of these things called a national sports policy in a long time, and now we do have one.
We do indeed. The government have announced today funding aimed at securing 20 Olympic and Paralympic medals for Ireland at the Los Angeles Games of 2028. It's part of a new 10-year national sports policy that covers the release of €220 million worth of funding. 1.5 million of that will be allocated to preparations of high-performance units going into Tokyo 2020. Elsewhere, the Women in Sport programme is to see its funding doubled by €2 million, and the policy also aims to have 50% of the population participating in sport by 2027, up from 43% currently. Minister for Transport, Tourism and Sport, Shane Ross, today says the scheme will affect sport on all levels.
High-level performance should also be helped out and supported very, very strongly indeed by the Exchequer. We want to see more Olympic gold medals. We want to see more achievements internationally, but we also want to see at the grassroots that people develop a community as well. Both it's twin aims. They're both very, very important indeed. The people who win medals are icons for the young people, and that's important. They're ambassadors for Ireland, so that's important as well, and we're going to support them absolutely fully. Of course we are. We want to see us doing better in the Tokyo Olympics than we did at Rio.
So we'll talk to John Green about this. There's various aspects which are very interesting. So I suppose the great divide between, and Shane Ross said they were the twin aims, between what you're doing with the high performance unit and what you're doing when it comes to Olympic medals, and also what you're doing with the population participation, grassroots kind of a thing. So on the elite sport situation, it seems New Zealand, who are held up as like the touchstone in all this, they put in, on a 4-year Olympic cycle, they seem to put in about 152 million. Denmark put in about 75 million. With this plan, and John will confirm this, looking at the figures though, it seems we're going to pitch in nicely at 120 million. So we're going to become very competitive from a high performance unit point of view. There's a lot of money here being given over to high performance. And then the plan is to go from 42 or 3, doesn't really matter. 43% currently of us are active. And we want to get up to 50. And I think John feels that's quite an ambitious target. We're getting older as a population, and there's been a plateau there for the last number of years. It's going to be hard to get up that 7%. There's no specifics today in what that means in terms of PE. Something simple like, what are we doing in PE, even at national school level, secondary school level? That's all going to be, it seems, worked out. There's going to be a leadership group set up, and that will be set up in the next 2 to 3 months. And then they'll have 9 months to come up with a plan for each of the 57 objectives. So, this is like a real first step. And nothing more, it seems.
Even something as basic as PE has to be a cornerstone of this, because 43% to 50% doesn't seem huge until you look at the actual numbers, which is about an extra 270,000 people taking part in physical activity. So you have to start at a very, very young age and provide the sports that young people want to take part in. I know there's going to be a focus on sports that are easy to take part in, so swimming, athletics, You would imagine gymnastics is something they're going to really have to try and invest in. And then you get into how much is all this going to cost in terms of providing the infrastructure when an awful lot of schools around the country have no facilities at all. And I know there are sort of twin pillars that you want both to progress at the same time, and the more people we have participating, you would imagine the more people we have that we can feed through to elite sports. But if we end up in 10 years' time winning 4 medals at an Olympics but have hit 55% of the population participating, nobody will probably have a great issue with that.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're winning 16 medals and they're nowhere near the other target, there's going to be a problem.
Well, we're on course. I think it's either in 2020 or 2025. I'm not sure which. It might be 2020. It's definitely around the corner. It's not too far away where we are going to be, and well done all of us, will be the most obese nation in Europe.
Woo.
So we really, we got a genuine situation here that we got to try and sort out. So John Green will take us through this. We'll do that from about 7:30 through until 8 o'clock. FAI then?
Speaking of funding, the FAI are moving to avoid future situations that have engulfed Bray and Limerick this season, amongst others. They've announced the creation of a €300,000 fund split between the FAI and PFAI to help League of Ireland clubs who may experience financial difficulties. However, the PFAI are yet to respond to the proposal. The fund would only be accessed by clubs who are unable to pay wages or fulfil contractual obligations, as the FAI say this evening, and could only be used as a last resort. As I say, despite the fact that they're proposing a split, the FAI or PFAI are yet to comment on this.
It seems strange that the FAI would come out and...
How long have the PFAI had to comment? The tone of your voice suggests you've been trying to ring them all day or something.
No, it's the fact that the FAI have announced a joint plan without necessarily hearing back from the other half of the joint part of it.
But we presume they're happy with it.
150,000 is going to be a lot of money for the PFAI to try and get hold of from nowhere, more or less.
Okay. So are you wondering if someone may have jumped the gun here?
It would strike me as it's another chapter in their ongoing fractious relationship.
Yeah.
Because we've seen them sniping at each other. Frank Gavin was pretty vocal in it last week.
Yeah.
And how the PFAI dealt with the Bray situation in particular.
Yeah.
And that at Limerick too. And I don't know, it seems to be all right, well, put your money where your mouth is kind of moment. And I don't know if the PFAI, I genuinely don't know if the PFAI have that money to stump up.
Yeah, fair point. Forget the golf, lads. I can name every All-Ireland hurling and football winner going back to 1949. I'm practicing the rest at the moment. I'll get there, says Tom and Lynch.
In front of whom?
Tom and Lynch.
Who's he practicing this with?
It doesn't matter who. Tom and Lynch, of a quiet, dark Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening. Why don't we pick a night in the next couple of months?
Randomly.
You come on and we'll fire years at you and you give us what you can. Would that be bad radio for 10 minutes? I think not.
Well, it may be better than the 10 minutes of radio that's coming towards the end when we talk about the Open from 4 days ago.
And I think not. If Tom and Lynch is up for that challenge...
I think we need to ring Tom.
Yeah.
We get Tom's number. We don't tell him when we're going to call, so he can't be prepped. He needs to be out in the golf course at Lahinch, something like that.
Yeah.
He's not
1963.
ready. And then we take it.
Well, exactly. Every All-Ireland hurling and football winner going back to 49.
Because unless we make that call, otherwise it's a totally fruitless endeavour.
But we can't verify what Tom is.
You should have him on not have him on as a 10-minute stretch, but have it as an ongoing motif throughout the show across weeks. So just like it gets to like 7:23, we ring Tom and we're like, Tom, 1971, and he gives us the two names, and then we just hang up and move on.
I think that's a regular slot right there.
It's literally the best idea we've had in about 6 months.
Yeah, at least. Lads, exclamation mark.
Oh, here we go.
Children, it's from the Walkinstown Beckenbauer, to behave. He's a prize guest. Children are too fond of the iPhone, getting driven to school. I walked to school and ran home. And this is the thing. This is what Damien Duff was saying even just yesterday on OTBAM. It's a very good interview, cheers.
Were his teachers after him?
He was really good. It is an issue. I mean, I don't know how you counteract that. Like, Duff even said to Owen yesterday, if I had an iPhone, if I had a PlayStation, I wouldn't have spent literally, which was what I did, my life playing football on the streets. Because, frankly, an iPhone and a PlayStation are quite a lot of fun. They're addictive.
Yeah. They're brilliant.
Yeah, so...
They distract your kids for ages. They've been moaning after playing football for 10 minutes.
Kids YouTube, Joe. It's a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah? So the live football this evening?
Yeah, Celtic looking to take another significant step towards the Champions League group phase tonight. Brendan Rodgers' side welcoming Rosenborg to Parkhead in the first leg of their second qualifying round tie. Kickoff is at 7:45. The losers of that one, of course, will face Cork City in the third qualifying round of the Europa League. Elsewhere, Dundalk will be keeping an eye on events surely in Amsterdam tonight. The losers of the Ajax Sturm Graz tie could face Stephen Kenny's side in the third qualifying round of the Europa League. Dundalk also have to come through AEK Larnaca tomorrow. That kicks off at 7:30. Meanwhile, while the dates and times for the All-Ireland football semi-finals were confirmed this afternoon. Dublin will face Galway, Monaghan or Kerry at Croke Park. That's on Saturday, August 11th, and there'll be a 5 p.m. throw into that semi-final. The other one will take place the following day at 3:30, with Galway or Monaghan facing either Tyrone or Donegal. The Farney men need only a draw with Galway in their final Super 8 game to reach a first semi-final since 1988. That follows last weekend's dramatic draw with Kerry. Defender Colin Walsh spoke to our own Maura Trasny-Kelly this morning and says Galway will pose a very different threat to that of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it's probably the Kerry game. We probably had saw Kerry the week previous play Galway, and it was a more probably tactical affair, and both teams were cagey enough and didn't open up. Whereas the last day in Clonus, Kerry pressed us high, the press was all over the field, so we had to play and adapt to that there, and we played the game. It was an open game of football. There was space left at both ends, and I don't think the next day, I'm not sure, it'll be a different probably approach that we'll be playing against. That we won't face the pressure we did. As you can see near the end, we were getting pressed all over the field. Our goalkeeper, if the ball went back the way, it was always pressed by Kerry players. So we're going to have to again adjust to that. There we'll be playing Galway, who are they're similar. They're a strong defensive team, but they're great on the counter attack and some top forwards, and it's something that we've probably faced before down the years, and it's something we're kind of accustomed to.
So that's interesting, isn't it? Dublin against either Galway, Monaghan, Kerry, Croke Park, Saturday 5 o'clock throw in for an All-Ireland football semi-final. Is that the first time that's happened? Were they doing that last year? Is this the first Saturday semi-final?
Well, we've had replays on Saturday evenings. But this was part of the new calendar. This Saturday we have the first of the hurling semi-finals is on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock as well.
I've already seen the first semblances of moans from people, and they're probably justified to a degree, of people who have to travel back from Croke Park from 7 o'clock onwards that evening to get back to possibly Monaghan or Kerry.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's
you're leaving at 7 o'clock.
It's probably
you'll be home by midnight. You'll be grand.
It's probably okay.
Probably not ideal for most people.
It's the entertainment business. They're not going to play the game at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I think look, it's tough.
I couldn't get there in time then.
Come on. If you're home by midnight, you've nothing to be moaning about.
Fair enough.
Where do you think Monaghan is? Literally an hour up the road.
I think it would be novel, it'll be fun. A Saturday night, let's just stay up if you're, go on. Everyone has relatives in Dublin. Make it
stay in Joe's house.
Yeah, stay in my house.
It's massive.
I quite like the thought of the Saturday night thing. I remember being at the Clare Cork All-Ireland final in 2013. 2013?
13, yeah.
It was a Saturday evening. It was fantastic. Like, the atmosphere in town was amazing. Like, sometimes after an All-Ireland final, you can be walking through town at 5 o'clock on a Sunday thinking, this would be a whole lot better if everyone didn't have work tomorrow, or a lot of people didn't have work tomorrow. There'd be a bit more from the air, Nathan.
Has anybody ever not gone to a game because they're worried about being back at it?
I'm bloody well sure they have
11 o'clock at night.
They're out there.
Kerry people don't travel anyways. They wait till the final, Richie.
5-3-1-6.
Tour de France then.
Dad Martin finished second on today's 17th stage of the Tour. The UAE rider came home 28 seconds behind stage winner Nairo Quintana up the Col de Portet. Yellow jersey wearer Geraint Thomas came in third, and he stretched his lead on general classification. Chris Froome, however, has dropped to third. Looks like his challenge is over. Thomas now leads Tom Dumoulin by 1 minute 59 seconds, with Froome a further 32 seconds back. Just the 4 stages to go, and Martin's up to 9th on general classification and enjoyed his duel with Quintana up the Col de Portet today.
I was trying to keep him at 10-15 seconds because I thought normally over the last 500 metres I can close that gap, but at this altitude I just had nothing left. Just absolutely really tough. But yeah, I mean he was the better guy on the day, and I'm really proud of how the team rode and how I rode as well. I mean it's pretty special to get second in a mountain top finish like that, and especially one when it was basically just the strongest got first, so to be the second strongest in the hardest mountain top finish at the Tour de France, it's pretty special.
Now, Steve Bruce said that he spat out his coffee, quite literally, when he read in the paper last week that Thierry Henry was set to take his job at Villa Park. So he was scheduled for a meeting today with the new owners at Villa Park, and the news is good for Steve Bruce?
Yeah, he has, Villa even have confirmed that Bruce will continue on as the club's manager. It should put to an end speculation that he was about to be replaced at the Villa Park hot seat by Thierry Henry. Bruce has been given the, quote, full support by majority owners Nassef Sawiris and Wes Edens following a meeting today.
Going to be interesting to see where Henry pitches up in the end. Seems like English football will be the most obvious spot, but who knows? And then I guess we got to see what kind of manager he is.
Well, I saw the questions been asked today about why would Thierry Henry go to Aston Villa, but it seems as though modern owners aren't blown away by your name and by the prestige. Steven Gerrard's had to go to Rangers.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard has had to go to Derby County. Equally as big names as Thierry Henry. The Belgium job obviously hasn't done him any harm.
No.
So maybe the punditry that we saw didn't really give the full flavour of what Henry can bring to a dressing room.
You see, the problem is it's impossible to know what kind of job he did at Belgium. Like, you know, you've heard, was it Christophe Terreur said he was generally like last to arrive at training, first to leave. You know? So, like, none of us know. Quite often, like, there was a great piece, it was like 2 years ago, I think it was by, Raphael Honigstein's jumped to mind. May not have been him. It doesn't actually matter anyway. It was a piece where he had gone back and spoken to players who had different managers and actually exposed whether they were actually good or bad. And from the outside, we were all completely wrong. You know, so there was quite a few at Swansea, I think. It was around the time the Swansea manager had been sacked. And they'd gone through who was good and who we thought was good and then what the players actually knew. And the general conclusion of the piece was, we just don't have a clue. There are terrible managers who are just getting that bit lucky because they have the right players, right time, things go well. There are really good managers who the players all knows his stuff, and it's just not happening.
Never get a bit of luck.
Yeah, so like we don't have a clue what Henry did.
No, if you're Henry, do you look for a job in the Championship, or do you just hold fire and wait until October, November, and you get a Premier League gig when somebody gets fired?
He was clearly looking for this job. I don't think his name appears by accident. I don't think it's just the owners going out there looking for him. His
probably not.
Name's probably put out there by the agents.
Would Henry get a Premier League job?
No.
Like, I don't think he will.
Claude Puel gets fired in November. Does he get the Leicester gig?
I don't think so. I think
no,
you
because
go
they'd be
for
struggling.
I think you go. Whoever's going to sack the manager in October, November's in free fall. I think where's Tony Pulis' number? Like, the money is such in the Premier League now that you can't take a punt on Henry. I think you're getting in the guy who's going to guarantee you safety. I think it's changed in that respect in the last few years.
I just don't see where the motivation would lie if you're Thierry Henry and you had a £7 million a year contract with Sky to be getting up.
4 million.
4 million.
7 million.
4 million. Even still, £4 million a year, moving to Birmingham, getting up at 7 o'clock every morning to go train Villa.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Can you give us very quickly just two interesting stories here? We didn't even mention Eamon Dunphy. What?
You insisted on chatting about golf.
I don't know how we mentioned Eamon Dunphy, end of an era.
Oh, this is a very sad day.
Talk about that later on at some stage.
This is a very, very sad day.
Yeah. 40 years.
Wow. He'll be missed. Genuinely. It will not be the same.
No, well, I mean...
I know they've been... I won't say they've been easing him out, but they've managed to bring more talent to the fore. But he's still the spark.
When he is the spark.
I don't think he has been the last 2 years, though.
But no, that's because there's been no spark.
And especially not in this World Cup just gone.
But I mean, like, at the peak of his powers, it was like close to being unmissable, literally unmissable.
That's the reason why you'd watch Ireland matches, etc., or Champions League matches, because that whole rant he went on against Venables and Pro Keane, like, just stunning TV.
I mean, I look forward to seeing what Rod Little has to say about his departure. I'm sure that's very sad.
Well, did they not go on Marion Finucane the day after that?
No.
And
that didn't happen, did it?
They went on radio together the day after that and were...
Pally.
complimentary to each other.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Is Rod Little aware that he's still the subject of memes? The Simpsons, the Irish Simpsons fan group is just like, there's a bunch of Rod Little memes knocking around.
Dunphy's best ever moment is still the little of the pen.
Oh, not for me, no.
National hysteria.
I think it's Rod Little.
And Dunphy has the balls to stand up and go, no, terrible day for Irish football.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But he literally does that. He goes, throws it on the desk.
And he actually does,
Yeah.
We're never going to see the likes of it again.
No, not a chance. Unless Kenny gets back in the RTE hot seat. And there's every chance now.
We're way out of time. The other thing I wanted you to briefly mention, if you could, was the tackle height.
Yeah, the RFU are tinkering with this one a little bit. A new tackle height law will be trialled in the English Championship this season in an attempt to prove safety in the sport, or improve safety in the sport. It's being tested there in the Championship, as I mentioned, the second tier of English rugby. It'll be altered so the definition of a high tackle will be above the armpit line rather than the current regulation of the line of the shoulders. The RFU is working with World Rugby on the trial.
Competition. This week we've teamed up with Europcar. Whichever way you want to move, Europcar have a wide range of vehicles available, from hourly options to long-term rentals. 20 branches nationwide, including Clonmel, Limerick. Moving around's never been so easy, and they're giving you the chance to win a kicking session with Europcar Ambassador. That's Munster's Joey Carberry for your mini rugby player. The prize includes 1 hour of training for your child and their friend. You get collected from your home by your Europcar driver in one of the deluxe vehicles in the Europcar fleet. And all you have to do to put your name in the hat is go over to offtheball.com, newstalk.com/rugby/Europcar and register your details there. Children must be aged between 7 and 14, and we'll announce the winner later on in the show. So after 8 o'clock, we'll talk to Sean Ingle about this interesting crackdown on the quality of runners and swimwear and various other types of sports equipment. We might touch on the golf with Nathan in the next hour as well. But this new National Sports Policy Document 2018 to 2027 was launched this morning. John Green from the Sunday Independent will tell us about it next.
Off the Ball on Newstalk.
Thanks to Screwfix.ie, championing the trade with a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products.
A third of children, Paul, can't catch a ball with two hands. That's what they discovered in that survey. Brilliant survey being done in DCU. You heard, Catherine, there 80% of kids not getting enough exercise. That has to be the focus.
Hear the full Newstalk Breakfast podcast at newstalk.com and on the Newstalk app.
Hi, I'm Brendan Kavanagh, CEO of GDPRcourse.com. GDPR became law on Friday, May 25th.